Hi, I'm testing here. That's why I'm not speaking so much. Okay, setting everything. Okay, I'm ready. So, welcome. Good morning. This is Chris Kilue, streaming from Querétaro in Mexico. So, welcome to my channel. Welcome to this early Sunday streaming. I hope you're having a very, 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 very good morning. And we're going to get started organizing my things here. We're going to get started with some tips, probably some sketching, drawing a little bit, hoping that my crazy cats don't come just running as they normally do. Okay, I'm setting camera here so the light is good. My desk is very, very small, and this is a mobile kind of a studio here. I don't have all my material here. I have everything upstairs there in one room, organized in boxes. That's what you're going to see. And I normally take up the things that I need, take them downstairs, organize them here, and well, that's normally what I do. Okay, I'm going to take out some of the other things I need. This is an improvised pencil holder, commercial here, I guess. There you go. It's been a sensation at the school where I am. So, welcome everybody. We're going to get started with some tips and some of the material you'll need. So, a couple of days ago, somebody of my viewers, Cheryl, I think it was, asked me for some tips to start drawing, or more or less what I did with my students. So that's what we are going to be doing today. So, hello Miriam, thank you for coming. Welcome here. And well, that's what I decided to do, and I'm going to include some sketching practice with horses. Let's see what we can do there. But first, I wanted to show you the material that I have. And this is inspiration from two artists. One is Betty Edwards. She's got a method on how to draw using the right side of your brain. And I think it's very useful. I have been giving classes to one of my students for a year already. We started in January, so it's been more than a year. And we started with graphite. And I started showing her all the material, all the things that she could have. We only used something basic because she really wanted to go to watercolor, and we really didn't exploit graphite to an extent. But she's now really good at watercolor, so imagine. It's really, really to be proud of. So, what type of things you need for drawing? Well, white paper, I suggest a notebook. This size is really good. It's letter size 8 by 10 inches, more or less. Graphite, of course. This is a Mexican local brand. So I have small ones, big ones. I suggest having at least 3 pencils. One that is really, really light, that is from the H family that we're going to get to see. A 2H or a 3H. Then you need an HB or also a number 2 pencil. That is a typical pencil that we can get in a stationery. So I'm going to show you one example. This one has got a local brand that we normally use here, but these are regular pencils that you can get from the stationeries. It's HB or number 2, so that one's good. Mine is very small, but it doesn't matter. I have a pencil, one of those things that extend the life. And of course, something to get some darker shadows and textures, and that would be a 2B or a 3B. So with those 3, you can make do. But the material is really, really, how can we say, the choice is just amazing. Some years ago, I was able to get this set of Derwent. They are called Graphitone, and something that I like is that they are water activated. So you can get one of these brushes and you can activate them. They look like this. So this is quite good. Okay. All right. Hello, Raul. Welcome. We are live. Hello, Dawn. Welcome. And definitely, let me just put it here. We are totally live right now. Not pre-recorded, not this time. This set has got 4 options. You have got the light one, that is a 2B, the dark 6B, medium 4B, and very dark 8B. So I love this set of pencils because you can just go and do a lot of things here. You can activate with water, and you can produce beautiful effects. You can also use this directly from the pencil, great tones, shading. So these are really, really good. And right now, Derwent sells a combination of water activated with normal graphite. So it's a good choice. Let me take this back here out of camera. Okay, as I was mentioning, the choice of pencils is just amazing. Let me move this just a little bit and move this forward and put this here. Okay, my lamp is going to give a little bit of glare there, so I'm going to correct this. So there you go. This is the set of graphite that I have. And I tried to put some of the numbers here so you can get to see them. This was the complete set up to here. But I'm going to show you the other pencils that I have. This is a good brand, and I wish one day they could watch one of these videos and sponsor me. Okay, so What is this? What is the nomenclature of pencils or the numbers? Okay, here you can get to see that I have kind of a swatch page. It needs to be protected. Graphite is really delicate because you can smear these quite easily. I have got here pencils, complete graphite, and then charcoal. This one represents the set that I just shown you. I'm going to move this closer. And all this here represents this. I don't know what happened to some of my pencils. They're probably somewhere they're lost. But anyway, let's see. I'm going to start with the core. These are the basics. We have the HB that you already know, but we also have one that is the firm. So this got a very steady line. H, those represent hard. So the family of the hard pencils can go from H to, I suppose there's a 9H, but you need something higher than probably a 2H or a 3H. This is the equivalent to draw with a nail. They don't give a lot of pigment. They're just for very, very thin, clear lines. These are good for tracing, but not for drawing. So don't invest too much on this. Probably a 2H. Or if you cannot find a 2H, a 3H is fine. You don't need more than that. The firm and the HB are also good for tracing, and you can start getting some very light shadows with an HB. That's why my HB here is very small, because I normally use this also for shadows. But these two are also good for tracing, so basic figures are good. And I'm going to put this closer to the camera so you can get to see the difference later on. So don't worry about getting an F, not really necessary. HB, more than enough. I'm sorry, still have a kind of a cough left out of this ordeal that was this respiratory virus. And here we go with the nice part, the nice set. But I will also advise not to go crazy and get a lot of these pencils. Probably the darkest that you can really have is a 12B. I got a 9B and that's just more than enough. And the B, I know the meaning of the word bland is maybe different in English. I know bland as something that has not a lot of taste, but it's the equivalent of soft. So the B is good, but for medium shadowing, go for a 2B. Probably you can get a 4B and a 6B. That would be my recommendation. All the others are just the same, probably a little bit darker. But if you really want to go dark, you have to use something else. Okay, so they are very soft pencils. So there you go. And let me answer your question down. Normally, architects and engineers will use in their first semesters when they are learning how to draw, because now everything is with AutoCAD and programs like that, they will probably use the H's or the F's. And artists will go from HB to the B's. Something interesting is that I just want you to notice something. I'm going to use a 3H and I'm going to show you a 9B. I want you to notice the tips. I'm going to put my hand here. I hope it doesn't blur too much. This one is thinner and this one is a little bit thicker because the amount of pigment that you can lay with this one is much better. And this one will be very, very good to sharpen to very, very thin points. And this one, I kind of never sharpen these pencils. And if I do, I use a knife so I can get more pigment and I don't get to lose a lot of the pigment here. So that's good. Okay, there you go. Oh, Raul, that's a nice joke. There you go. All right. I am also going to show you this one. This is something that I got a long time ago. I don't know where my 3B from this set is, but this is also B's. I have here the HB, I have the 4B, I have a 5B. I used to have a 3B because I don't know where it went, so that was really, really strange. But this was a set that my mom gave me a long time ago, and I kept it. And here you can also get to see the difference with the tips. The HB is a little bit thinner, and look, for example, at the 6B, really, really thick. So there you go. Then these ones that I'm showing, they are not water soluble, but you can also get water soluble. That are these. And Derwent also sells a variation of this set that has got water soluble. You have to look for this symbol done. You have to look for a brush. And if you see that in the set that you get, then it means that it's water soluble. And not all of them, only these 4 that I have are water soluble, but they're really thick. And this has been, this set has been with me for probably 10 years. So when you really invest in material like this, it really lasts long. Okay. What else? I got this one from Staedtler. It's an HB, and all this is graphite. All the pencil is graphite. There's no wood around it. So this one is really, really good for doing things like this. I'm going to try and show you on camera. So you can use the whole of the pencil to shade, and it's hexagonal, so it's quite good. Also this part that you can use. And the set comes with 4 pencils, and 4 or 5, I think. And this is the first one. I still have 3 that are new because I gave my niece one of these so she could enjoy her first steps in drawing. What else I can tell you about these graphite things? Well, graphite produces, and I think you can see it here. I'm going to move this one and try to wait until I get to see these on camera. Graphite produces a glare, so it's shiny. You cannot get really dark colors. So that's why I say that it's not really worth it to get a 9B, 10B, or something like that. It really doesn't help that much. Derwent has got another set of graphite that is called onyx. Onyx is dark enough. I'm going to show it to you here. It's there. But it also shines. I mean, I'm moving this and it also shines. Last year, Derwent released a new set of graphite that doesn't glare that much, that doesn't shine that much. But I haven't been able to buy it because I'm not drawing that much with graphite. Maybe right now that I'm going to go back to teaching my new student, because now I have a new student, I have to how to draw. I'll probably go and invest with that one. If you really want dark colors, and I'm going to push this just a little bit here, then you have to get charcoal. You do need charcoal, and let me just take some of the ones that I have here. Try to get charcoal that has got some type of wood or paper around. This is really to produce really dark effects. This is a charcoal that I have. I have only these 4, but this is more than enough. You can see that as I don't have big drawings, they are really not worn so much. So that's particularly interesting. And if I put this on camera and move it around, you can get to see that this area here is not glaring or shining at all. So these are tips from Jill, it's Jim or Jill Hilberry. I'm going to check the name. I have his book here. Well, not his book, I have it electronic, but I made copies. I know that that's not necessarily really good, but sometimes some books from Amazon are not sent to Mexico. So sometimes the only thing that you can do is ask somebody who has got the book and maybe make some photocopies. So once you have tested your material and see how it shines, then what you can do is start your warming up. This is kind of a mask made of tracing paper just to protect this, because as we said, this is smears. I'll probably use this one later on, but I'll show you what other things you can get or that are really necessary. Of course, soft eraser. These are good. Hi, Becca. Good morning. Thank you for coming. I think with the daylight saving time, it's not that early for you anymore. Now we don't have the same schedule, Becca, or the same time. Now I think that now you are 1 hour ahead of me. Mexico will not change this time, so that's good. Pieces of cotton, commercial Q-tips, soft erasers, something that you can just, they look like clay, they'll sell them on Amazon, so they're quite good to erase small details because you can just give it a shape and you can erase something. Let's go and show. Good to produce highlights. So there you go. Of course, this one will erase everything. Comes different shapes. I prefer this one. What you can do also that I normally do is that I keep some of my shavings. So I use one sharpener, on a pencil sharpener only for graphite. So later on, I eliminate the wood and I just put the graphite here. I don't mix the water soluble with the normal one, but this one is good. Why this is good? Because you can take one of these, put in there, and you can shade. So people, this is about using your material to 100%. And this is something that not a lot of people know. They just go and throw away these things. And material, remember, art material is expensive. Okay, so there you go. You also need, these are expensive, but they're good investment. You don't need so many. These are good also to help you out with some shading. So this one is harder than cotton or Q-tips, and this one is going to push the pigment onto the paper. So if you have, this is normal photocopy paper from a notebook, but if you have something that is a little bit more textured, then this is something that would probably be useful. These, if this gets a stain, just use a knife, sharpen them like that, and you have them new. I have had this a set for probably 20 years, so you don't need to change this quite much. Okay, so let me take back some of the things here that I won't need that much. A lot of erasers. I have a lot of erasers. So there you go. Okay, and definitely these stamps, I know them as tortillians, and in Spanish they're called difuminos. So I love them. You can also use a brush, especially for the one that I've shown here. And there you go. Yes, Dawn, I have here sandpaper as well. But I don't use it for the stamps. I use it for the graphite. So to get something there. You can use a brush also for the graphite that you can store here. So that's particularly good. This pencil case is a mess, but I love it. So I'm going to go and organize it a little bit better on camera. To put back some of the things here that I need. Okay, there we go. I think more than enough. These little things will help probably for later. Okay. So sometimes the tips and tricks that I give your experimentation, guys, are things that I used before, and I'm like, this helps. This is good, and things like that. So let me leave out. I don't want to use this one so much, but I'm going to leave to H from here, the F, the B, so you can get to see them, and maybe the 3B, this one, and the 6B, and all the others that are not really used, go back into the box. Okay. I suppose that you noticed that I did not mention using your fingers to help with the shading. Why not? Because your hands have oil and you're going to get enough graphite by manipulating the pencils. So not a good idea. So here, what I have got is graphite 4B, that is this one, and different ways just to extend or smear on purpose the pigment. Here I have the brush, then I have stamp, I have here different types of clothes, fabrics that you can use, typical tissue paper, packaging paper. I mean, whatever you can get to see that in my work with smearing a little bit the pigment, go and use it, experiment it, and leave some areas to experiment with more things. This is 4B, this is 2B, and as I said, protect this because if not, it will smear more than you want. Okay, now how to start your drawing journey. It takes patience. It's not going to be in a month. It's going to take time. And of course, it all depends on the amount of time you practice. So I'm going to show you a little bit how to start, and probably, let me see, I'm going to use sample papers here. Well, the first thing we need to know about drawing is how it starts. Well, I'm going to be using this one. And I'm going to probably jump. No, let me use the other notebook. Yeah, let me use this one. And start from here, probably with new page, and then I go back to the others. Well, good. Yes, Miriam, texture paper, it's much better. You can get special paper from Amazon, blocks, and the more texture you have, the more grain from the paper you're going to highlight from this. But to start drawing, you just need a paper like this, basic graphite pencils, HB, 2B, 2H, those 3 pencils, and that's good. But Amazon sells paper for graphite only. Mixed media paper is good. So charcoal paper also works. So any paper. I remember that when we experimented with charcoal in our drawing classes at university, we really didn't use very fancy or expensive paper because we were just doing the sketches. Okay, so there you go. So let's start with this. The basic lesson is this. The minimum drawing unit is a dot. I'm going to try and make big enough. That's your basic drawing unit. If you extend this one to an infinite position, you create a line. So a line is a series of dots altogether. So you can imagine these are just all dots. So that's a line. Lines can be horizontal, they can be vertical, and they can be diagonal. And they all represent something. The lines also have kind of psychology behind. So something calm, quiet, something that is stable will be vertical. Something that is kind of making you nervous, unstable, moving, it would be diagonal. They can be like this, or they can be like this. You also have lines that can represent turns or curvy lines, and they also represent motion. The magic of drawing is to know how to use these elements and then create the illusion for the eye to see something that is on a flat, two-dimensional or one-dimensional surface, because this is just one dimension. And that's the secret. For drawing, we also need to understand what we know in Spanish as planos, or different kind of plane or positions. So this is easily used or exemplified with the basic drawing of a house. elementary school house, the ones that we knew how to draw in our early young life. But without knowing, we were good at representing things. The problem is that when you turn 9, 10, you start becoming a perfectionist. And then is when you see, oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not that realistic. I should quit drawing. And it's not really the case. Kids are good at taking a complete paper and not worrying too much about the margins. They are good at also incorporating them. And kids are also good at representing different things using plane. And this is just a really, really basic drawing. But with this, you understand that something is closer or in front of something else. So those are like the basic things that you can get hold to. Later on, as you move on in learning, you will learn the different rules of composition, because there are. And that's how you balance not only your drawings, but also if you're a fan of photography, you can also use those composition rules for taking your own photos. And you will learn how to place your camera and then move around or move the camera, zoom in, zoom out until you find something that really matches the composition. So this is something good to start. Now, drawing requires training. And here, that's why I pull this one so much, to show you how this goes. First of all, try not to do these exercises that I'm going to show you only moving your wrist, because you're going to hurt. Your hands are fabulous pieces of art. It's very, very delicate machinery, if you want to see it like that. Here we have got a lot of things that need to be taken care of. And if you're going to be an artist, if you're going to draw for a longer period of time, you have to take care of your hand. If you're right-handed or left-handed, it's the same. This is also good for people who spend a lot of time typing. The keyboards are normally used like this. They give us a lot of pressure here, so they're not good. You need to use something that is ergonomical. Or limit your periods in front of the computer. So do not draw like this unless it's something that is really detailed. The most important thing is to train your muscles. Your arm doesn't need to be in contact with the surface. It needs to be hovering a little bit above. And these are warming exercises. So this is the first one that we normally ask the students to do. And I'm going to try and push this. Well, let me just move this so I have enough space here to show you. I think this is more than enough. I hope that you can get to see everything. I'm going just to wait a little bit until I get to see on camera that you can get to see the movement. Okay, so there you can see my elbow, you can see my hand, and they don't have to be perfect. They just need to be controlled. Okay, probably the first time you do this, you're going to have circles in different directions, small, whatever. Try not to press, to be so hard on the pressure you give onto the paper. This has to be just like kissing the paper, just touching this. And your hand needs to move really, really soft. and you have to do a complete page of this. The first line you do is not going to be even, as I mentioned. It's going to look probably crooked, but it doesn't matter. The next one will look better. All complete. Try not to place your elbow on the table because it's not going to work. Complete page. Next exercise is this. Same. Do not push too hard. Just as soft as you can. And try for them to be as even as you can. Find a position that is comfortable for your hand and your wrist. Complete page out of this. And every time you start drawing or painting, it's a very good idea that you warm up your muscles and you do one page of this, one page of that. So more than enough. You don't need more than this. Okay, another good exercise to start your focus and concentration, it's lines. I started this one with my student, but as I was having the other watercolor student at the same time because they are sisters, so I was dividing my class in two different things. The goal is to produce something like this. Don't forget to put dates on everything you do so you can get to see your progress. Just straight lines. Do not stop to lift your pencil. It has to be a continuous line until all the space is filled. First with lines that are just horizontal and vertical, and the next one is with diagonals. They don't have to be perfect. The only goal is not to lift the pencil. That is going to help you with concentration. Let's put this one here because we're going to use it. So I started this one with like this, and the idea is not to move the paper that much. You can go to different directions. I'm breaking my rule here because this notebook, I didn't get to hold this notebook firmly enough to do this, but this one is really good for concentration. You can go crazy and just go directly on to the bottom of the page. Come back. Try not to touch the lines. It's like creating a maze, but nobody's going to be inside this maze, so don't worry. But try not to move the notebook, because if you move it, definitely you're going to lift this, and that's not the goal. The goal is just to concentrate and finish this. As I'm speaking, I'm not really concentrating that much, so my lines are really crooked, but you should do this in silence, probably with very nice, quiet, calm music. Okay, so you can get to do this. I'm not going to finish this up right now, probably, but just take this to different directions. When you're doing this exercise, same, try not to push so much your hand onto the paper. Make sure you have very light pressure and you can get to do this. The idea is that you move your hand freely. If you see I'm using my little finger to help me have some distance from the paper. I'm not resting my arm on the table. Everything is just there, hovering, as I like to call it. The first time you do this, your arm is going to hurt and you're going to say, oh, what is this? What's going on? It's normal. It's supposed to hurt because you're training your muscles. Drawing is training. Everybody can learn how to draw. The only thing you have to do is train. So I'm going to stop there, but the idea is to fill this paper. Okay, so if you have questions or something, don't forget to ask. Then if you can get the book of Betty Edwards, she suggests some exercises to do. I'm not going to repeat her method here because it's copyrighted, of course, but you have to draw a person from your imagination, then either draw yourself from a mirror, or my favorite exercise is to watch a movie with a character that you like, a main character, and after you have finished watching the movie, from what you remember, you draw the character, then you draw your hand, nice position, and you draw a chair from your house. So follow her method, is really, really good. What we need to learn to do later on, it's a little bit of shading. So here I have some that I can probably show you a little bit, but I'll show you the examples better, much better on this notebook. Okay, welcome back, Miriam. And here I'm going to go to some of the examples that we have here. Well, we need to learn to control the different numbers that we have. Okay, the different pencils. So these are the HBs. Normally with the HBs, I start with this area, then I go into different transitions. I don't have here, I thought I had here a masking tape or something, so I can draw a circle there. But as I'm in my dad's office, I don't have anything to draw a circle, but who knows. Then I'm going to try and show you how to do some soft transitions. Grid, this is just lines. Zigzag. Then we use the stumps. Cotton. This one is using the different pencils. Here I just use a couple of pencils. And this is with eraser. There are like different practices that we normally use here. Let me see if I can get a small little circle here. I'm going to use my same page. And let me see, I have here one that I can use. But let me just stand up a little bit. Let me go for a masking tape. Okay, I'm back. Just went to the kitchen to get this magic circle. So for this, I'm going to use the F1 just to get a small little circle. Oh my God. It's almost an hour and I feel that it's going really, really fast. So I'm going to show you how to start this. Let's go for, I'm going to show you the 2H. Yeah, the 2H. So you can get to see that this is like a nail. Who knows? We're going to go from very, very light to very, very dark. Hi, Pam. Good morning. Welcome. Suggestion. When you are shading, don't hold your pencil here. This is for details. This is for very, very controlled drawing. If you're shading, try to grab your pencil to the very end. And remember, try not to do this, because if not, you're going to hurt your wrist. It's very difficult to do that, but not impossible. Okay, so I normally shade in very, very controlled areas. If you see, I'm moving this up and down. I'm very, very lightly just touching the paper. Hello, Janet. Good morning. Welcome. And this is the 2H. We're going to be keeping this one here because we're going to be doing the transition with the HB. This one has got a very awful tip there, so I'm going to use this one, or probably even this one. Even with the HBs, you have got different pigments depending on the brand. So just go and automatically, the darker the number pigment you will lay down, fantastic. Later you can go back and fix any little details. So there you go. We have the H and we have, I'm trying just not to lay my arm on the table because this has to be very, very light. That's why you have to do exercises to train. That's why the other exercises that I've shown you, the small ovals and then the other one, because as you don't rest your arm on the table, you're going to get tired, and it's a good exercise. You can also use these little things that are for the stress. After you finish a drawing session, you can use them. Okay. There you go. That's a nice tip, Miriam, to use the soft clay as an eraser. I definitely, my favorite one is this one. This one is. And when it gets really, really dark, you just take this small little bit and you just have something new. This one's been with me also like 5 years and still has got a little bit of plastic to cover it, and I'm just using this part. Okay, so here we are with, remember the number? The HB. HB to H. Trying to produce a soft transition. Okay, so we're ready to go to either a 2B or a B. I'm going to be using another HB. This is HB. This is the one that is a complete graphite. And let me just put a B here. I love giving these exercises to new students because at the beginning they just want to just push so hard to give a lot of pressure on the paper, and you don't need that. Shading is like kissing a paper, remember that. So everything has to be very, very light. Light and with not a lot of pressure. You can tilt your head. Remember that graphite shines. So, and I have here a very direct light, so I have to move my head around and get to see how this is darkening. And you have to use a lot of layers. This doesn't happen magically on one single layer. So this is another HB. Now we're going to go and experiment with a B that is going to give us more pigment. I just don't want to go to Amazon and buy more graphite, but I'm just so tempted after I saw the review of the new Derwent pencils that eliminate a lot of this shiny glare that you get from graphite. But well, my birthday is coming. It's in April, so I think I can give me a Christmas a present gift. So anyway, all right. So there you go. Okay. So Dawn, what do you want me to repeat? This is live tutoring in a certain way. So we have a B here. I'm going to move into a 2. This is 2H. Let me go for a 2B. So there you go. I know that you cannot see my complete arm, but it's still hovering. My pinky finger, my little finger is keeping the distance, so I make sure I don't rest my arm. I don't like giving a lot of pressure at the beginning. This needs to be done with love and a lot of patience. Later on, of course, I'll move this one and work with the areas that are there. Okay, I'm going to show you in very soon what we are using here. Okay, I'm going to move right now to another one. Okay, so far we started with a 2H. We continued with this HB. Then I used another HB. Then we have a B, and this is the last one, is a 2B. So this is so far what we have. Okay, then I'm going to jump to a 3B. I'm not going to use this one, so let me put it away. I'm just using this almost the same brand here. 3B, there you go. It's looking a little bit darker. I think you can see this properly from the screen. Let me do this. Let me open my window here. We don't have a lot of light today, natural light. Yesterday it was very windy, and I told my dad I think it's going to be cold again. The winter doesn't want to give us a break here. It did 2 weeks ago, but it was very hot. Last week it was rainy when we needed that rain, but it was mostly mud, not a very, very strong rain, but it was welcome. So yesterday was windy, as I said, and right now it's cloudy. And well, I need to go and get a new telephone unit, not a mobile phone, but a new telephone unit, because we finally got a telephone line permanent, because mobile phones, the signals here were just impossible. So our local company finally arrived to where we are. So now I can feel that I'm part of civilization again, because now I have a permanent telephone line, which is good. But I never thought that we're going to come so fast and get that one installed. And I didn't buy a telephone. So now I have to go and buy a telephone. So that's interesting. Okay, we have a 3B. I'm going to jump to a 6B here. The little part that we have here. I'm not going to have enough space to use the 9B, but it's really not a big difference from a 6B to a 9B. Okay. You can give a little bit more pressure when you're using the B numbers. Move this around. It looks nice. This is the hardest part, I think, to learn, to be able to shade like this. And I'm going to tell you why. Because it's very easy. It's very easy to take just one pencil to be HB and I'm going to show you with this one. This is a 2B, and I'm going back and forth, doing from very light to very dark. That's why using a lot of pencils sometimes is not necessarily that good. The transitions are important. Okay. So there you go. These are also good exercises to do. With a lot of pencils, if you have them, with one pencil, you can go from very light to very dark. This is a 2B. And the more you practice this, it's really a good idea. Okay. And of course, you move this around. I need a piece of paper or tissue paper. Let me see if my dad has got something here I can use. Yeah. So there you go. I have one of my cats here sleeping with me. Nico, the cat, is here. And what do we do here? Well, I'm using this bit of tissue paper just not to smear this around. And now that I'm going to go into the edges, then I can lay my arm just a little bit to rest, not that much, but I can go halfway of my pencil to have a little bit more control. This rule applies also for your brushes. If you have a brush and you want more control, hold it from here. Some pencils have got special areas here and brushes as well. So more control here. More or less halfway of control there. And if you want a very free brush, just from the tip. So that's a good thing about these tips. They can be used for different things. And now you can move these one around and continue layering until you can get your transitions done. Make sure you put your pencils in order. So make them have a line. And remember, not pushing so hard, not a lot of pressure. You just want the pigment to kind of kiss the paper, because it will also damage the pages that come after. Okay, so let's put them here. I hope you can see them, that I'm putting them in a line here. So I kind of remember what I used. So there you go. I said I was going to draw horses and I have not started. So I'm going to move into horses. And definitely, yes, Miriam, you can always add. And if you need to erase, use this. Okay. Hello, Dana. Nice to see you here. You can also lift some pigment with this type of erasers. And there you go. There you are. Oh, I just listened to my dad's phone. He's awake. It's very early for him to be awake. He's here in Mexico. It's 7:15 a.m. Hi, Brenda. Good morning. Welcome. Okay, and it doesn't matter if you lift graphite with this. You can always put back. So it's just a matter of playing with this. Okay, we went then to with the B. So we add and we add until we're happy with this. Okay. Charcoal will be, of course, the darkest one. And I want to show you something that I have done here with graphite before moving into horses. Okay. More experimentation, of course. Let me see if I have something here to show you. Textures. I will cover that later on. Textures with graphite. Some practices. But over here, I don't know if I have it on this notebook. I have some eyes here. No, it's on the other one. It's here. We took some photos, and this is an example of what you can do with graphite and charcoal mixed. I'm going to try and see if it doesn't shine so much. So let me just see, because I normally get lost with the delay. Okay, thank you for the reminder, Janet. This is an example of graphite charcoal textures. Here you have charcoal. This is a chili, a dry chili. This is a cup. All the whites are the paper, and there are different pencils. And I think the darkest one we use here was a 6B here. And of course, the charcoal here. So there you go. I mean, graphite can give you a lot of beautiful things there. And you can have a notebook like this, and you can draw every day or practice every day. I'm going to show you one that is very old before I move into horses. So I'm going to use this one for the horses, and we're going to be using graphite, of course. Let me put this here. This is something that I kept from university. You can see the notebook is very old. Even the spiral, it's broken, but still holds. Still a treasure. Okay. And this is from, you're going to get scared out of this. This is from university. When I was studying at university, I started in 1990. Oh my God, so long ago. Really, really long ago. All these have got a tracing paper to cover. So they are going to shine and glare because they are graphite. So February 1990. Oh my God. The faces are not that good, but there you go. Okay. Another guy. The eyes are really, really creepy, but this was just experiment. The shadowing. Hair was not good here. Okay. Oh my God. Yeah, I was like 18 years old, 1990 more or less. Yeah, so starting university. Animals, that is my favorite subject. Animals copied from a book that I still have. Here I was just practicing some shading. And some of them are not good. Let me see and show you something that is nice. Okay, this one is nice. This one is nice. This one is one of my favorites. This one is also from 1990. This orca whale graphite. So it was like 1 or 2 drawings every day. Okay, so I love this one. Then let me see what else I have here that is good. Not so badly done. Oh, I like this one as well. A couple of seals, also from another, I don't remember the reference, but it's a book that I still have somewhere. It's just a line drawing and I invented the shadows. So the seals are good. I love orcas, so you're going to get to see a lot of orcas in my drawings. I'm trying to see if I get nice drawing here. Oh yeah, I also had my face of airplanes. So this one's, I think, was good enough for the year 1990 as well. Okay. Then definitely. Yeah, tissue paper, tracing paper, because if not, they will smear on the other side. So get hold on those. This was just an invented one with a lot of graphite, and you can get to see how the tissue paper is just totally smeared here. So invented drawings, but they were my first experiments with figures. Oh, this one is one of my favorites. Okay, then there you go. Nice idea, Raul, but I'm so far away from 1,000 subscribers. I'm just in 350, and it's been 6 years with the channel, so I don't think it's going to happen soon. But anyway, this is one of my favorites. So there you go. With a lot of shading, paper protecting. Okay, let me go and see. Let me move my material here. I don't want to knock anything off my table because it's very, very small. Let me see what I have here behind. I have more Disney drawings. I have something that I copied, but they are not necessarily that good. These were my first official ones. Oh, the one from the cover for this stream. This one is also a favorite. Okay. Yes, you can spray things as well. Okay. But sometimes they leave kind of a strange texture on the paper, Dana, so that's why I don't like them that much. But it's a good idea. I have some of those later on. So mixture of a Pegasus with a strange tail. I love here the wings from a photo, but there you go. Hey, let me see. I have a gear player. I have some ink here because later I moved to ink, but that's something different. And that's it. I don't have, this was from university. I still have some white pages that I can use here. Okay, 20 something here, but There you go. Old ones here. Last week we did some sketches that I still have here. The bird, the eagle, the monkey, the duck, another eagle, the ferret. These were the 2-minute sketches. Definitely much better in, I can say, in drawing skills. But let's see if we can do a little bit of horse drawing. I'm going to leave this one here open because I like this paper a little bit more. I don't know why, the quality of paper has gone really bad recently. And I think I've shown this book before, and I have to explain why I have photocopies. As I mentioned, some books are difficult to get or send to Mexico. I even don't remember the author of this book. This is something that I found in my local library, and it's horses. I photocopied bits of the book that I liked. That's why I don't have a cover and I don't remember the name of the author. And I just photocopied, it was a book like this thick. I just photocopied the pages that I liked with information about horses and things like that, movement. So I thought that we could just practice a little bit of horses today with maybe graphite. And I have these kind of mini tutorials like this one, kind of not finished, but just with linear things. And here I have another one that is not really running or something. It's just from the back, and you can see they are very nice sketches with basic forms, heads of horses and basic structures. So literally, I just copied some of those because I like them. I like horses. And I think I remember I had somewhere magazines with horses. I just don't remember if I have them here or they were lost when we moved. Oh, if they are lost, I'm going to be so sad. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to try and follow this tutorial for this horse. So I'm starting with a 2H, and I'm going to be flipping this just to establish chest area. The spinal cord. It's been a long time without me drawing a horse, so it's going to be a mixture of following the tutorial and following what I learned from a long time ago. So I hope it's well proportioned. Okay, let's put leg here, then knees. This one is another one. Okay, this one is going a little bit further back, and when I follow tutorials I kind of get a little bit lost with this. Might not be able to finish all the drawing today because I've just got 15 minutes left. Remember that Miriam is coming after me, so don't forget to follow her. Okay, this horse is going to have officially a big hinder part. Oh my god, it's going to look funny. It's going to look funny. So we're just sketching the neck, the head. I'm so bad with the names of body parts, not only human but animal body parts. There you go. That's right. And you have something very interesting to show, Miriam. I'll try to be there most of your streaming. I do need to ask my dad if he wants to go out to buy the telephone or if I just have to go out and buy it on my own. I prefer the company, of course. Definitely. Okay, I'm done with the 2H and you can get to see that it is really, really light. But that's the idea. It's just for sketching. So I'm going to go now into an HB. He's doing much better. My sister was here last week helping us with his therapies. Oh, this one is too flat, so I think I'm going to need to sharpen something. And he was very depressed, very tired, just sitting there without wanting to do anything at all. So I was really, really worried. He used to walk 6 kilometers almost every day. And to see him just sitting there, it was really, really sad for me. But luckily, he's feeling much better. And I hope that this continues to improve, you know, because definitely the repercussions or the aftermath of this virus was not that good. Yesterday I was watching Mary saying that she doesn't like animals with white eyes, and I really don't care. Let me get my tissue paper because now I'm starting to going into shadowing a little bit. This horse is going to have very dreamy eyes. It's going to be probably a mixture between a fantasy horse and something a little bit more realistic. But I don't want something finished here. Definitely not. Trying to follow this tutorial that I have here. But I can push it right now so much down because you won't be able to see what I'm doing. Okay, so there you go. Oh my God, Raul, I'm not sure if it's going to be really soon. Normally, Katrina's, are a theme or a topic when we are getting close to October and November. I'll try to give you the history and maybe not necessarily drawing one, but try to give you the history of them, how they were born and something, because they're more a Christmas topic now, a Halloween topic more than a summer topic. And I also have to finish the alebrijes. I have not been in the mood to continue painting them. Definitely not. I see them and I'm like, oh, I have to take out all these and then I have to paint them. So sorry about that. This was definitely not necessarily a good thing to have been sick. This leg, I don't like this leg that much, but anyway, it's just a practice. So let's see how it goes. And I also start the second part of my semester. We just have midterms. We had midterms last week. But in our case, midterms are final exams because we have 2 courses in a semester. So it's going to be taking some time. I know, Miriam, it's going to be taking some time for me to go back and recover all the drive, all the energy that requires to be drawing and painted again. It's hard. I have to prepare my new classes also. We don't have classes tomorrow because we have a long weekend festivity here. It's not because of the spring, it's because of the birthday of one of the heroes here. Okay. And he was born on March the 21st, Benito Juarez. So we don't have classes tomorrow, but it means that I will have to prepare some of my lessons here. So there you go. Hello, Raj. Welcome. I don't like this horse that much, but this is the first one I've drawn in ages. So it's the first one out of more. I won't be able to finish this one, but anyway, you get more or less the idea how this one is looking. And I'm still using an HB. And you can get to see that you do a lot of things with these. Okay. There you go. Yeah, Benito Juarez is more recent in history, in Mexico's history. He's one of the idols of the president we have right now. So it's going to be a big thing tomorrow. But anyway, this leg is a little bit strange, but anyway, I'll try to do more horses later on. Let me get to see the timing. It's almost 7:40, so it's almost time to let you go, guys. So thank you for coming. It was a long session with graphite and examples of graphite material and things like that. I'll finish my projects before taking something new. This was just a very, very quick sketch with a horse. But I'll try to continue this series. I'll try to see what I'll do for next Sunday. It's going to be a very interesting Sunday, next one, because we're going to have concerts here in the area. So I heard that they were going to be doing some repairs in the, the electricity grid or something like that. I don't know if I'm going to have constant electricity, but there you go. So let me just organize some of my material here. Thank you very much for coming. I'll see you around during Miriam's stream. And I hope that you take out your graphite. If you want, we can continue a little bit with more graphite next Sunday and carry on with some basic drawing figures, geometrical figures, trying a little bit more horses here. It's going to take, especially me, it's going to take some time to go back into an accurate horse drawing, but it was fun working with this. Okay, so thank you very much. Let me just type in here. Okay, so thank you for coming. and see you later. Okay, we're going to close this stream. See you at Miriam's. That's the next bus stop. Okay, so thank you guys. Let's go and watch Miriam next. Bye bye.